How to create melodies in Logic Pro X, but again, you don't need to have Logic Pro X to create melodies. You can have any other DAW. In general, we're going to be talking about some of the fundamentals to create melodies. I'm not going to get too theoretical in this. I'm actually going to take this video like you're coming at it with no music theory at all. So we'll really make it easy for anyone who doesn't know any theory. If you're making music, you're a singer-songwriter or producer. I'm Charles Klein. I'm a singer-songwriter and producer as well. And I make music and teach music and perform music, play music. That's what this channel is all about. I'm just kind of passing information on that's worked for me. So feel free to subscribe and stick around. Melodies have to do less with chords and more with like one note kind of things, like mono notes. So like a lead synth or a piano part or like a lead guitar part. For example, a vocal melody would be a lead part, right? It's a vocal melody. It's usually one note at the time. With your voice, you're not playing chords. So let's just get that out of the way. We're going to be focusing on like one note thing. Let's listen to a bit of a progression here, a chorus progression, and let's create a lead melody over this from scratch. So let's take a listen. So right away, you kind of should be thinking in your head, and you might be hearing things in your head, right? Like just rhythms and lead vocal parts, guitar parts in your head, just humming them, right? So how do we get that out inside the DAW now? First, let's pick an instrument. Let's get something like a lead synth. So new software instrument. Let's just pick something stock, open up Y to get the library going, go to synthesizer, and let's go lead. Let's do just one of these. Get something warmer. This is what producers do. I'm sure you can empathize with this. Just look at sounds all day. Let's just go something with a smooth analog lead right now and just get on with it. So let's just lower the volume on that. How I like to do it, I like to play by ear. So I would find out the key I'm in, and how I do that is I go to the main instrument that's doing the progression, so the keys. And it's usually the first chord. So that is a B minor chord. So we are in B minor, and that means I have all the B minor notes in the B minor scale. Okay, so if we're going to get a tiny bit theoretical, you just have to choose the key, and then if it's a B minor, you say, well, I can play then any note in the B minor scale. If it's a B major, then you can say, I can play any note in the B major scale. Let's do that. Let's go to Google, go B minor scale. Then we have the notes right here. Write them out on paper, put a tape on your MIDI keyboard or whatever. I have my MIDI keyboard here, so we have B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A. Without going too deep, let's just stick to that. So let's go back to Logic here. We have those notes, and let's just start playing some ideas. Recording, and I'm just gonna play those notes on my keyboard. Have the click on too. The problem with looping in MIDI, and I'm not sure if that's a setting you can turn off, is it replays the MIDI that you've already recorded. See if I can just tame this synth a little bit. Maybe there's a softer one. Maybe just less sustain. Okay, let's try that. Let's go back here. Again, this is not about the sound, it's more about how to create melodies. So now I'm just kind of laying, nothing is sure, but I'm getting ideas in my head right now. That's not good. Let's do another. Okay, I got it now. I'll explain more of how I do this later. Okay, now let's just quantize this. Command A and just quantize by 1/16. What did I do? I literally took the notes here, memorized them on my keyboard. I've done this a lot of times, so I just happened to know that. And I just played things. As you saw, I kind of went through a learning curve there. The first wasn't really good. Some of the notes in the key didn't sound good, but the tonic notes, I think they're called, or the root notes, they sound really good. And you're going to hear that when you start playing those notes on the keyboard anyways. You're going to start hearing some notes sound better than others. Stick to the ones that sound good. Another way to do this, if you don't want to use a MIDI keyboard and play it out, because maybe you're not comfortable or have the motor skills to do that, you can do it by drawing the notes in. So if we just duplicate, just set up a region here, and we go back to Google, we see the notes, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A. We just go here, and we have the notes here. Okay, where's a B? Here's a B. Okay, let's draw a B in there. Okay, where's the next one? C sharp. Okay, let's draw a C sharp. There's a C sharp. There's a D. Next one is D. Let's draw a D. Then let's draw an E. See what I'm doing here? I'm just going to draw them all in. F sharp and G. And what's the last one? A. So just with my little lead here, minor scale. That doesn't sound good at all, right? So what can we do to make it sound better? Well, now that you know these are the notes, you put them all over here. And just so you have a reference. So those are the notes you can use now. Okay, so now write your melody in. You can go to the paintbrush, might be easier, and go to 16th note here, and then you can start just like painting in notes. You can also bump this up to a quarter note if you want to paint in quarter notes. And then paint in some things. You know, this is your canvas here, what you can use. Actually, this is the canvas, I guess. So let's just try this. Don't know how this sounds at all, but what I'm going to do is basically just move this over a bar. So now, at bar 15, we know our chorus starts, so it's just going to ignore this stuff. See what that sounds like with everything? System overload. Okay, so that one kind of sounds weird, right? Maybe let's move it down here. Maybe let's go back down here, over here, up again. Maybe do 2 in there, so shorten that. Maybe do another one here. Again, they don't have to be all the same length, right? Let's go drop it down again. You get the idea. This one sounded weird there, so maybe drop it down here. Maybe do another double here. Maybe overlap that one a bit. That sounds weird. Change the velocities on things. This is going to be harder. This is going to be softer, harder, lighter. sometimes that's a really cool way to do it and gets you just out of your comfort zone. I'm already having fun doing this because I'm just thinking about different melodies that I wouldn't create on the MIDI keyboard, right? So this is a really cool way to create melodies. And I don't actually create melodies like this, but I think I'm going to start now because that sounds pretty cool. I hear it finishing. Preview. This again, I hear this again right here. Hear it all again, don't you? Do you hear that? Probably different here, something. So our loop would be something like this. And then we can go and delete this, snap in that MIDI, and then we have our melody part. There is one other thing that you can do if you want to use the MIDI controller, but you don't want to have to look up on Google the notes. And one way to make it really easy is to transpose your MIDI keyboard to C major. Basically, if you're in a major song, you can transpose your MIDI keyboard to C major. And that means you only play the white keys and things are gonna sound probably good. So you just play the white keys, any white key, it doesn't matter. That's what C major is, it's all the white keys. So for example, we can't do this because we're in a minor key, really only good for major. And if you're in a major song, how you transpose your MIDI keyboard is basically like, look up where the G is, if your song is in G major, and then count every single note up until C. I'll show you here on keyboard, on the musical typing. Oh, just happened there. So we have G here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If our song's in F major, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what that means is in F major, we have to go 7 up, or, because C's also here, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. And basically on your keyboard, there should be, if you have a modern MIDI controller, there probably is a button that has transpose up or down. And that means you would go down 5 or up 7, and then play all the white keys while your song is being played, and it should all sound good. That's how I create melodies in pretty much all my songs. Please feel free to subscribe, guys. I hope to see you in the next video.